Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the episode of Arsenal Live. Today's video by the title, the video is about. We're discussing the Steelers training camp day number 6. Yep, number 6. And today, we'll keep it fresh and simple. Some stuff happened, but not a lot happened. Not a lot big news things. But the team was fiery today. The team was very fiery today. From what I was seeing from the reports, I was seeing from pictures and videos. They was throwing hands. A lot of people was throwing hands and fighting. I believe Legoo got in the fight with DeMarvin Leal. They was throwing, everybody. There was a lot of fights everywhere. But that was like one of the main fights right there. They were grabbing face masks, going at it. But they competing, going in. Now it's to a certain extent, you don't want nothing to carry off the field, but like on the field, you want to see that fire. You want to see that competitive fire. We're trying to get better. We're competing against each other and like showing intensity like that. So getting themselves prepared and pumped. Because I believe the first preseason game is on Saturday, right? Against the Seahawks. So. See how we're going to look that game right there. See how the young guys going to fill in. I can call them young, even though they're probably older than me because I'm only 20. But see how the guys are going to fit in. And see how the guys going to be and guys going to look once the season starts. And basically like a test run. Preseason is always fun to see. And I remember when I was younger in the old days, I used to always I watch preseason occasionally, but I always skip over it. But then once I got to like high school and like that, and I was like middle school really, I was more invested into like football, like around 8th grade, and in high school too. I started watching every game, preseason and stuff like that, and seeing all the players because there'd be a lot of guys that go you might see when I think twice of them, but then you see like they basically like build themselves up and work their way up to the main roster and get a roster spot, and they become shining stars like that. So we've seen that happen multiple times with a lot of guys in the league. So it's always fun to watch and see like how those guys gonna look and like see like the underdogs in preseason and see everybody, see the hot draft picks and see how everything merge up, how they feel like at an NFL game level speed. It might not be like the game day on Sunday, but it's still like the closest thing you can get to like NFL ready, like NFL game day ready. So we're gonna see how the guys look on Saturday. I'm gonna be live streaming it too, so you guys can stop by and watch me react to it live. But the first thing we got on here too was Anthony Mcfarland going crazy. He was showing up. This is really probably the first day really I heard anything other than Najee Harris, about a running back on the team, because Najee is a focal point of almost every day, because like he bring intensity, bring fire. Right now he been having that the foot injury, so he didn't participate in anything today. Like that, it said like kind of like they said like the foot injury is better, stuff like that. So he was just on the sideline like that, from what I believe. And then Anthony Mcfarland, he was out there showing some burst, showing that speed, and showing like what we got on the team for. He had the quickness. He's that elusive running back. He's that guy who can change the pace. Because we have Najee Harris, who's a bell cow back, and like the ones that you're gonna give the ball to a lot. Like we had throughout history, like the Jerome Bennis. Willie Parker was one of those guys. Willie Parker had a pretty good career too. Le'Veon Bell was a guy like that. And then you get a guy like Najee Harris, who's James Conner's like that too, kind of. But James Conner a little different style. He wasn't as big as these other guys, as the Bettis or Najee Harris. But James Conner has some stuff to him too. And he made a Pro Bowl with us. But you want to have the Steelers love having a running back who can just like be down there every time. But we might have to switch the style up a little bit. You might have to switch the style up and like go with a different type of running back to reduce the snap count of not the snap count, but reduce the snaps of Najee Harris to keep him fresher for the playoffs, because he did get injured last year before the playoffs came. He hurt his elbow, I believe, the Ravens game. He came back and he muscled through it, but he didn't look the same in the Chiefs game. It was just like the wear and tear, all those touches like that over time. So they can reduce those touches and like a backup running back. If Anthony Mcfarland is that guy, or whoever is that guy, can give us like maybe a total of 500 scrimmage yards. There's 500 scrimmage yards, maybe 250 rushing, 250 receiving, or you get like 300, 400 rushing, and the other from receiving. Like there's like at least 500 scrimmage yards. They can give us that. One of those guys can give us that like that, and he'd be like consistent like that. That'd be very good. That'd take a lot of pressure off Najee. He still have his big numbers, his Pro Bowl numbers and stuff like that, and that keep him fresh for the playoffs. The playoffs, running the ball and playing defense is the main two things in playoffs. You want to slow the pace down, especially if you have like a lot of young guys too. Like our team, our offense is very young. You want to slow the pace down. You want to keep the game at a pace where you can control and stuff. So hopefully Anthony Mcfarland keep that same steam and keep going and getting better and better. We're gonna see him probably in preseason and see how he's looking. Because last year we thought he was gonna have more opportunities. He came in a couple times, but we really didn't muster anything, and they stopped really using him to just focus on having Najee out there the whole time. But then maybe Benny Snell or Balaja come in. So hopefully we get more implemented to using another running back too, so we can like keep everybody fresh. Another thing too, Calvin Austin still showcasing his first class speed. That first class speed is amazing. It's gonna open up a lot for the offense. Like having a guy who runs like I think he run a 4.3, 4.3 something. They're like it's just crazy. It's gonna open up a lot because you don't want everything to be like close up together and like bunched up, like kind of like how our offense been the past couple of years. Everything been close up and all the short stuff. And I think Claypool was kind of like our deep threat, but he didn't really like cash in a lot of those deep balls. It was like 50-50 balls, and sometimes the ball maybe slightly underthrown, slightly. But if you get two hands on it, you gotta come down with it. You gotta come down with it. And like he used to always like just be. It's just like I don't know, just like the he'll always fall down like when he get like close to the ball coming to him, he'll fall down the route or something like that, or fall down or try to like pull a defender into him, kind of like how some NBA players do like before they changed the rule thing, like last year, and they were like jumping into people. Like that, he was doing stuff like that, trying to like draw a foul, draw a penalty like that. But instead of just going up and using his 6'4" frame and just getting it like that, we're seeing him using more physical intangibles more in training camp on this the past couple of days and stuff like that. But I want to see like in like game speed, is Chase Claypool gonna be like emerge and start be more physical as a receiver and just using his size and his speed and ability to make plays happen. But Calvin Austin is a guy who's shown in college, like I said before multiple times on the channel, that he can beat man-to-man coverage easily. He has that first class speed, and just because I think he's 5'7", so he's smaller like that, but he still played physical. He played physical. He played tough. He played gritty and all like that. He's not like afraid to get up on you and like and he creates separation. So we gonna need that too. Especially if he cashed in a lot of those deep plays, a lot of those big ball plays, teams gonna start be like, okay, we gotta get back, and they're gonna open up a lot for Najee. They're gonna open up a lot for the tight end. They're gonna open up a lot for everything. For a lot of people. So it's gonna be great to see if we can implement that into the offense and have that deep ball threat. And next was on Devin Bush. He was showing a lot of flair too. The past couple of days, Devin Bush been playing better. He been looking more quick, looking more poised. And to me, it wasn't really like his physical stuff. It was more like mental. It's like he was kind of like hesitant a lot on stuff, like running through the wrong holes and like doing the wrong things like that. He was kind of hesitant and shooting and like just picking the wrong spots to like charge in. He'd charge in a pile of tackles instead of going through the hole in the gap and getting around or something like that. It's kind of like that type of stuff. But now you see the training camp, he's looking better, he's looking quicker, looking smoother, and he's just like looking more cerebral. So hopefully that implements into the game. We're gonna see him play in preseason too, probably as well. So we'll see how he look in that, and then hopefully that leads to him in the regular season him playing like that too, and just being more cerebral, being like the linebacker we drafted him to be, like he was his year one and partial of year two. Another thing too was Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett was going at competing. They didn't get like Kenny Pickett. He started off training camp a little bad, but lately he's been putting in the work. He's been playing better and been more consistent, been more accurate. And Mason Rudolph been competing too, like that. Mr. Trubisky had kind of a bad game, threw a pick to KZ and so like that, a little off on some of his throws. But Mason Rudolph found Kevin Austin deep. He threw another touchdown. Kenny Pickett threw some touchdowns like that. So they was like competing. They was going at it. They was playing more poised and be more accurate and stuff like that. So the QB competition is still going. And the last thing on the list was the Diontae Johnson. They had the report that said Diontae Johnson and the Steelers are in negotiation with their contract after the Boswell deal, and they said they are kind of miles. There's a report that said they're miles away on like a decision. So like I guess they're saying like it's still like a far-fetched, like they haven't reached a certain point they want to meet yet. I don't know what the asking price is. I don't know what the Steelers is offering him, or I don't know what it is. I probably think it's probably on that same version of what Terry McLaurin got and DK Metcalf got, because part of the same draft class. And the AJ Browns, of course, he got paid, and so all the top guys got paid. The Deebo Samuel, he got paid yesterday or the day before yesterday. DK Metcalf got paid. That was last week, right? I think last week DK Metcalf got paid. Terry McLaurin got paid a couple weeks ago. So those guys all got paid like that. AJ Brown got paid too. He got traded to the Eagles back in during the draft time. He was the first one to get paid like that. So those guys got paid. Diontae Johnson is another guy too who got drafted in the 4th round. That draft. But he's been a guy who implemented himself up there with those guys like that. So we're gonna see where his contract lies. If the Steelers are willing to go that high or like give him an extension. I don't know what the extension to be. If I don't really. I'm trying to see. Maybe like around I don't know. Maybe like I don't know if you're looking for like 18 mil a year, 18 to 20 mil a year. I don't know if it's like around that, or is it more like around like 15 to 17 mil a year, like that. Because Christian Kirk did get paid some pretty good money, and I know Diontae Johnson is better than Christian Kirk. has more production than Christian Kirk. So Christian Kirk is a good receiver though too, but Mr. Johnson has more production, put better numbers on it. And some of those guys I named too, besides DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin, who like have a little bit more stats than Jesse Johnson. Jesse Johnson got better stats, better production receiving wise than Deebo Samuel, and he also is kind of on par a little bit, a little bit with AJ Brown. AJ Brown a little more, I believe so, but he got kind of on par. So he's still par with those guys. He's not like getting like washed by those guys. He got a Pro Bowl as well. I said so. I don't know what the Steelers are looking to do. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like 15 to 17 or more of a maybe 18 to 20 like a year deal. But we're gonna see what happens. We probably hear something in the upcoming weeks, or maybe even this week. But that's all I got today for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe. If you don't like it, dislike the video. But I'll see you guys next time on the Arsenal Live. Peace out.